Hi everyone, my name is Ainari Mack and today I will be presenting a comparative analysis of the skeletal system across 5 vertebrae: the perch, the frog, turtle, bird, and cat. I chose the skeletal system because it's one of the best ways to provide and show how evolution shapes the body for different environments. Across all vertebrae, skeletons act like the structural support because they protect the organs and work for the muscles for movement. By comparing these 5 species, we see how the bones, like the humerus, radius, ula, femur, and vertebrae, change in shape and function depending on how the animal lives. I'll also go into the major differences in the vertebral column and scale morphology. The skeletal system forms a basic framework of the body. It gives shape, supports organs like the brain and the lungs, and allows movement throughout the joints and muscles. Across vertebrae, the skeletal system is also extremely flexible in its design. Even though the bone names stay the same, the form of each bone changes depending on whether the animal jumps, skips, flies, or runs. The skeleton also shows evolutionary history. Fish have simpler skeletons built for buoyancy, while land animals develop stronger bones to support their body weight. By studying these differences, we can understand not only how each animal lives, but how the vertebrae was transitioned from aquatic to terrestrial life. The perch. The perch represents, at a starting point, the vertebrate skeletal system for evolution. Unlike triopods, perch don't have true limbs. Their fins are supported by fin rays, which are flexible and perfect for swimming. Their column is also simple. The mainly trunk vertebrae and caudal vertebrae are designed to bend side to side, which creates the swimming motion we see in fish. The skull of a perch is also very small and has small bones and lightweight bones that reduce the weight in the water to allow quick mouth expansion when feeding. Overall, the perch skeleton is optimized for life in the water: flexibility, reduced weight, and efficient side-to-side preposition. The frog. In frogs, we see a transition from water to land more clearly. Frogs have a true triopod limb, which includes the humerus, the radius, the ula, femur, tibia, and fibula. One of the adaptations is fused to teofibula in the hind limb, which provides extra strength for powerful jumps. Their pelvis is also specialized. In the Euro style is a long fused bone that helps absorb the shock when the frog lands. The vertebral column is shorter and less flexible than mammals, but strong enough to support both swimming and jumping. The frog shows early adaptations for weight bearing, but still keeps the traits that help with aquatic movement. The turtle. The turtle has one of the most unique skeletal systems along vertebrae. Their ribs fuse with dermal bones to form a carapace and a plastron, the upper and lower parts of the shell. This fusion provides a strong protective shield but limits its flexibility of the body. Turtle limb bones are thick and strong, built for either digging on land or paddling in water, depending on the turtle species. The vertebrae is partially fused to the shell, which adds structural strength but reduces mobility. The skull is sturdy with no teeth, instead of having a strong beak for cutting and grinding food. The turtle skeleton shows how protection can become a major part of evolutionary priority. The bird. The bird skeleton is one of the most specialized vertebrae because it's adapted for flight. Bird bones are lightweight and often hollow, which makes it easier to lift. Many bones are fused, such as collarbones, forming from the furcula, or the wishbone, which stores elastic energy during wing beats. The forelimbs become the wings. They still have a humerus, radius, ula, but the wrist and hand bones are reduced and fused to support the feathers. The vertebral column includes several fused vertebrae that create a strong base for flight muscles and landing impact. Their skulls are also light. Birds lose teeth and develop creatine beaks. Overall, the bird skeleton sacrifices flexibility for stability and lightness. The cat. The cats, representing mammals, show a very different skeletal strategy focused on agility, speed, and balance. Their limbs have long bones like the humerus, radius, ulna, femur, and tibia, arranged for walking and sprinting. Cats walk on their toes, which increases the stride length and speed. The vertebral column is also extremely flexible, especially in the lumbar region. This flexibility lets cats arch their backs, jump high, and make fast decisions with directional changes. The skull is also powerful because it has jaws, canine teeth, and strong muscle that is designed for hunting and tearing their prey. The cat skeleton shows a high level of specialization in predatory life on land. The evolutionary patterns. We compared 5 species and we clearly see an evolutionary trend. First of all, triopods share the same basic limb blueprint, the humerus, the radius, the ulna, and the digits. But the proportions and the shapes are all depending on its function. As vertebrates transition from water to land, fins evolve into strong, weight-bearing limbs capable of supporting the body. The vertebral column becomes more specialized as we move from fish to amphibians to reptiles to birds to mammals. Fish have a very simple vertebrae, while mammals have distinct regions, such as cervical, thoracic, and lumbar. Skull structure also changes. While fish have small bones, and amphibians and reptiles begin to fuse bones, birds reduce skull weight and lose teeth, and mammals develop varied teeth for chewing. Overall, evolution increases complexity and specialization, but the core structural blueprint stays the same. This is shared with layouts of all the vertebrae that we share from a common ancestor. In conclusion, comparing the skeletons from the perch, frog, turtle, bird, and cat reveals how evolution shapes anatomy for different environments. Fish show the earliest vertebrate body plan. Amphibians show how they went from aquatic to transitional life, adapting to land. Reptiles refine their skeletons for protection and support. Birds modify theirs for flight, and mammals develop highly flexible bones for speed and precision. Even though the bones look very different from basic structural, it stays surprisingly